안녕하세요. 스페인-산티아고근교 코리아노 인마드론 에스파냐. 자, 영국 런던에 왔습니다.
And if you're unlucky enough to fall in, you'll be swept away. The reason for the chains is so that you've got something to hang on to hold on to save your life. That's what they're for. Now wherever you look now I've pointed them out, you'll see them chains wherever you look, on the banknote walls, on the bridges, no matter where you are, where you're looking, you will see those chains hanging down to save your life. The bridge ahead of us is the Blackfriars Bridge, opened by Queen Victoria in 1869. The red painted columns you see are ordinary made from the St Paul's Railway Bridge, and the last bridge in this group is the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. And as you pass through these bridges, you can see those chains close up here on the supports of the bridge. I can point them out on the email online.
여기는 영국 런던. 자, 배를 타고 가이드의 설명으로 지금 촬영을 하고 있습니다. 스페인 철원 남자 구독 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
On the left hand side there, dominating the skyline, is St Paul's Cathedral. The second St Paul's Cathedral to stand on that site. The first was made of wood and burnt down. The Fire of London, 1666. The St Paul's Cathedral you see there today was designed by Sir Christopher Wren. It took 35 years to build and opened in 1710. It's got the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in the world. The largest is St Peter's in the Vatican City of Rome. On the right hand side, the building with a tall chimney with a tall smokestack. This is the old Bankside power station, no longer used to generate electricity. The building is now the Tate Modern Art Gallery. Now it's completely free to enter the Tate Modern Art Gallery. You can go in there completely free of charge. Go inside, have a walk round, have a look at some of the modern art.
날씨가 쌀랑하고 또 배를 타고 가니까 추워. 춥습니다. 아이고 추워.
On the right hand side as you pass through the bridge, ahead of us here on the right, the circular white building with a thatched roof, that's a replica. That is an exact copy of William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. It's an exact copy of the original Globe Theatre. It's made of wood, it's open air, there's no electricity in the building. If you go and watch a play in that theatre, they're performed exactly how plays would have been performed in Shakespearean times. Except of course that now the women's parts in those plays are played by women. In Shakespearean times the women's parts would have been played by men, as it was immoral for women to write. Also from that building you get the word box office, which is still used today.
자, 우리 여기 가이드분한테 감사하다는 마음을 전달하고 싶습니다. 박수 한번 보내주세요.
This is the Southern Bridge, opened in 1922. Ahead of us on the right hand side, as we pass under the bridge, we see a very famous and popular riverside pub, the Anchor on Bankside, opened in 1614. A building there with the red windows. Very popular pub. Us crew who work on these boats, we go in that pub every night and we research the commentaries that we give you, and just to make sure that everything we tell you is all true and correct, we go in the pub every night just to make sure. No other reason, just the research. As you pass under the Cannon Street Railway Bridge, if you look on the left hand side, underneath the bridge itself, on the left there, you see a small glass box. Now that is a health and spa club It's got one-way glass in there, but the glass has been put in the wrong way round. You shouldn't be able to look in, and you can. You see people wandering around in there in semi-nakedness. Sometimes we want to turn the boat round and go back and have another look. Sometimes we wish we never looked at all. On the right-hand side, coming into view in a few moments, in the gap in the buildings there, we see the trees. Coming into view is the Southern Cathedral, which was opened in 1275. And in the cathedral is the Harvard Chapel, which is named after John Harvard. He was baptised in that cathedral. John Harvard emigrated to America and founded the Harvard University in Massachusetts. The bridge ahead of us is London Bridge, opened in 1973 by the Queen. This is the fourth London Bridge to stand here. The London Bridge that stood here before this one now spans Lake Havasu in Arizona in the United States. Bought for £1 million, taken down stone by stone and shipped to the Arizona desert where it was re-erected as a tourist attraction.
공사가 계속 진행되고 있습니다. 저 우회는.
The tallest building in the country comprises of offices, apartments and the Shangri-La Hotel. Just recently, will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas, he bought the penthouse apartment in the Shard for £38 million. And at the top of the Shard, there's a viewing gallery, and it's £30 each to go on there. Or, on the left-hand side, you see the green glass dome with the people up on the balcony right at the top there, look, on the left, that's the Sky Garden. And you can go up there free of charge. Book online, skygarden.com, book a time, go up there for nothing. This building here on the left-hand side, behind the trees, with a small clock in the centre, is Watergate House. And this was the headquarters for His Majesty's Customs and Excise. Now, if you're caught trying to smuggle drugs or too much alcohol into the country, and it's taken from you, this building here on the left-hand side is where it's all stored. We're supposed to incinerate the drugs and alcohol every year, but we've never seen any smoke come from the building. And they say that the staff Christmas parties in that building could last for months. On the right-hand side, the HMS Belfast. Launched in Belfast in 1938, so action in the Second World War and the Korean War. Permanently moored here as a floating museum, painted in the North Atlantic camouflage colours from the Second World War. Saw action, as I say, in the Second World War, the Korean War, now belongs to the Imperial War Museum Group, open to the public every day.
이건 뭐 전투? 뭐 어디 뭐 언제 쓴 건지 모르겠는데 얘가 군함인데.
This is Tower Pier here on our left. This is our destination. Just before we call into the pier, we're just going to swing by the pier here, show you a few more places of interest.
전시용으로 갖다
On the left-hand
놨습니다.
side, the Tower of London, started during the reign of William the Conqueror in 1078. And the oldest part of the Tower of London is the tower in the centre, where you see the white flag mast. This is called the White Tower. In its time, the Tower of London has been a palace, a fortress, a prison, a zoo, a mint, an observatory, and now those houses the Crown Jewels. As we start to turn the boat round here, on the right-hand side, Tower Bridge. Not as old as it looks, it is a steel suspension bridge. The Gothic towers are built this way to blend in with the Tower of London.
스페인-산티아고근교-스철남Tv집
the centre part of the bridge opens.
구독 좀 부탁합니다. 구독이 많이 필요합니다. 감사합니다, 여러분. 시청자 화이팅! 화이팅! 감사합니다.
Only once has this bridge ever failed to open. That was on the opening ceremony in 1894. Top down, young man. say earlier, I'm not a professional guide, and we do these commentaries entirely voluntary to make your journey that bit more interesting. What's the point of coming out here and having a trip on a boat and not having a clue on what you're looking at? So we do our best to entertain you, and if you would like to show any appreciation for our efforts, you may do so when you leave the boat.
손 들어.
I'll be standing at the gateway with a silver champagne bucket. Now, if you're wondering what happens to